All right. Ready to jump into the world of industrial quality management.
Let's do it.
You've sent us a ton of material on this career path, so we are going to break it all down for you and see if it's the right fit.
Yeah, there's a lot to unpack here.
There is. It's interesting, when we think quality, we often just picture products, right?
Right.
But the sources you've shared, they reveal this whole other layer.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
and it's a big one. It's about safeguarding information assets, which you might not think about right away with this kind of role.
It's true. I was really struck by that, actually, in the RoleCatcher career guide.
Oh, yeah.
They gave that example about protecting blueprints, customer data,
Mm,
even those secret formulas that companies spend millions developing.
yeah,
It's like being a digital librarian who also knows how to spot a security breach.
exactly. And that ties directly into the whole compliance aspect we see in a lot of these materials.
Right.
Because this isn't just about, internal best practices. It's about navigating this constantly shifting landscape of industry regulations.
So it's not enough to know the rules. You have to, anticipate how they'll change.
Yeah.
That sounds intense.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. One source, I think it was Quality in the Age of Disruption, they argued that adaptability is becoming like the essential skill for industrial quality managers.
Interesting.
And they used the example of the medical device industry, where
Okay.
like software updates, right, they directly impact patient safety now.
Oh, wow.
It's a whole new ball game for quality control.
Yeah, that's a powerful example.
Yeah.
It really highlights how high the stakes can be in this field.
Absolutely. And that, I think, leads us well into this question of skills.
Okay.
What does it actually take to thrive as an industrial quality manager?
Okay. So we're not just talking about being, super organized and detail-oriented.
Right.
Though I imagine that helps.
It's funny you should say that.
Yeah.
Because attention to detail, yeah, it's crucial, but it's really just the starting point.
Yeah.
The sources consistently, like over and over again, emphasize this idea of critical thinking, problem solving, being able to really,
Makes sense.
yeah,
If you're going to anticipate problems before they even happen, you need to be able to connect the dots, right?
exactly. One article, I'm trying to remember which one it was, but they use the analogy of a detective.
Interesting.
You're constantly gathering these clues, analyzing data, looking for patterns that might indicate a bigger issue.
So you need that sharp eye for detail, but also that ability to zoom out and see the big picture.
Yes, 100%. And we can't forget about communication skills.
Right.
You're not just working in a lab by yourself. You're
Okay.
collaborating with people across all levels of an organization, sometimes even outside the organization.
Oh, right. Convincing people to actually implement your recommendations, that must be a whole other skill set.
It is, and it's not just about, being persuasive. It's about being able to take these often really complex technical details
Yeah.
and explaining them in a way that everyone can understand.
So you need to be a teacher,
Yes.
a diplomat, and a detective all rolled into one.
That's a great way to put it, yeah.
No wonder the RoleCatcher guide mentioned those high salary expectations.
Right. The earning potential is definitely there, but, we should also discuss the other side of the coin here,
Of course.
which is the challenges.
Right, because every job has them.
Oh, for sure.
And it's important to go in with your eyes open.
I agree. Yeah. One recurring theme we see in a lot of these materials is the pressure
Okay?
that comes with this role. I mean, you're often the bearer of bad news,
Yeah.
especially when something goes wrong in production and,
Right.
and you're the one who has to,
Accountable.
be accountable. Exactly. And when you're responsible for upholding those quality standards,
Yeah.
that pressure, it can feel pretty intense, I'm sure.
For sure. For sure.
There's, I think it was an interview in one of your sources with a senior industrial quality manager at like a major automaker.
Hmm.
And, he was talking about, he described the job as like, equal parts exhilarating and exhausting.
I can imagine. And with technology constantly evolving,
Yeah.
you have to learn new things.
All the time.
There's that constant pressure to stay ahead of the curve, right?
Absolutely. And that's where I think these certifications come in.
Yes.
You included some great resources on Six Sigma and lean manufacturing.
Yes. These seem to pop up everywhere in the materials, but I'll admit, I don't really know what they are beyond the name.
Sure. Yeah. So think of them kind of like frameworks.
Okay.
Frameworks for a continuous improvement, right? So Six Sigma, that's all about reducing defects
Okay.
and variation in any process,
Okay.
whether it's, manufacturing a car or
Right.
processing insurance claims.
So it's not just about making things faster, it's about making them better
Yes.
and more consistent.
More consistent, exactly. And then, lean manufacturing, that focuses on eliminating waste,
Okay.
right? Anything that doesn't add value for the customer. So it's about streamlining those processes, maximizing efficiency.
It seems like these certifications would be valuable even outside of a strictly industrial quality management role.
100%, yeah. They show that you are committed
Yeah,
to quality and efficiency, which translates across industries.
absolutely.
Yeah.
So if someone is listening and thinking, this sounds like me, but how do I even get started?
Right.
What advice does the source material offer?
The biggest thing is hands-on experience.
Okay.
Internships, co-op programs, even just, part-time jobs in a related field.
Okay.
Anything to get your foot in the door, get that practical experience that shows you can, walk the walk, not just talk the talk.
Right, right. It's that practical experience
Then
that
some.
shows you can actually do it, not just
Right.
read it in a book.
Exactly. Yeah. And when it comes to actually landing that, dream job,
Right.
we can't forget about the interview process.
Of course not. A
Yeah.
very important step.
And luckily, in your stack of materials here, you included some common industrial quality manager interview questions.
Yes. Let's walk through a few, shall we? I bet our listener wants to know what kind of curveballs to expect.
Okay, so we are back and ready to dive into part 3 of our deep dive on industrial quality management.
Sounds good to me.
We've covered a lot of ground here, everything from the importance of compliance to what to expect in an interview.
It's a lot to think about, but, we want to make sure our listeners have the full picture.
Absolutely. And it's clear that this career path, while demanding,
Yeah.
can also be incredibly rewarding.
For sure. For sure.
So as we kind of pull back and wrap up here, what are the key takeaways that our listeners should remember as they are considering this path?
Okay, so I think first and foremost, this isn't just about inspecting widgets, like we've said it a couple times. It's about being this guardian of quality across the entire organization, right?
Yes.
Products, processes, information, you name it. It's about being that proactive problem solver, like we talked about earlier, right? Constantly anticipating the challenges
Yeah.
and then finding creative solutions.
Exactly. And never underestimating the power of, clear communication. Like
Right.
we were saying earlier, you need to be able to explain these really complex ideas, but in a way that everyone can understand and get on board with your kind of vision for quality.
Yes, absolutely. It's a role that really demands kind of, both a sharp eye for detail,
Yeah.
but also that kind of bigger picture thinking.
100%.
One thing that really struck me was the emphasis on continuous learning.
Oh, yeah.
Like these certifications, right? The Six Sigma, lean manufacturing.
Mhm.
It's not just about, checking a box.
No, not at all.
These actually represent a commitment to constantly improving yourself,
Yeah.
to staying ahead of the curve in a field that's constantly evolving.
Absolutely. And that evolution is only accelerating, right?
Right.
We have AI, automation, all of these things becoming more prevalent. It makes you wonder, what does the future hold for the industrial quality manager?
That's a great question. What do you think?
I mean, that's the million-dollar question, right? Will technology replace humans, or will it create all of these new opportunities for skilled professionals to kind of, learn how to manage, optimize all of these new systems?
It's hard to say, really.
It is hard to say, yeah. There's one of your sources, The Future of Quality. They made a really, I thought, compelling argument. They were saying, okay, AI, that can handle the routine tasks,
Okay.
but it's the human element, right? That critical thinking, adaptability, that judgment, ethical judgment.
Sure.
Those are the things that are going to become even more valuable in the years to come.
So it's not about fearing technology, right?
Right.
It's about learning how to work alongside it, maybe even learning from it.
100%, yeah. I mean, the industrial quality manager of the future, they're going to need to be comfortable with data analysis,
Makes sense.
automation, and then being able to kind of interpret what they're seeing and act on it.
Right.
It's a really, I think, interesting time to be entering this field.
Yeah. Yeah, it really is. And who knows, maybe someone listening to this will be the ones leading the charge,
Yeah.
shaping the future of this whole field.
I love it.
Well, this has been really fascinating, getting to explore this career path with you.
Yeah, it's been fun. Thanks for having me.
Absolutely. And to all of our listeners out there, we hope you are leaving with all the information and the inspiration you need to take that next step.
We'll see you next time.
We'll see you at the next deep dive.